Hi guys, Dr. Drwendydearborne here with another episode of Food Beyond Its Nutrition, and on the plate I have for you Jamaican peas and rice, guys. That's right, Jamaican peas and rice. This is a staple. It's a traditional dish that's cooked with beans, rice, coconut milk, and a few other things.
Okay guys, this is what we need to make peas and rice, or rice and peas, depending on where you're from in the islands. It can tell. Jamaicans pretty much say rice and peas. Other places say peas and rice. But this is what you need. You need some sort of a dried bean, and preferably something that doesn't get too mushy when you cook it. You can use red beans, you can use black-eyed peas, you can even use split peas, any kind of split pea in this. Actually a split pea can definitely stand up when you sort of like steam your rice down. So anything that will stand up to being steamed and not becoming mushy. Now here I have two different types of kidney beans. They're both kidney beans. And actually, I've got some white ones. I should put the white ones out. Actually, they're both kidney beans. However, this kidney bean here is something that I would use for, as we call it, stew peas or beans and rice, where you cook it with. For me, it will be a masala and perhaps with a some squash in there, some butternut squash. And or the traditional way is with some sort of smoked pork, some sort of bacon, smoked bacon, some hock, something like that. This is what I would use for that. It stews up and it becomes really, really soft. This is what I would use for rice and peas. And I use this variety because it doesn't get as soft when you cook it. It really doesn't get as soft. Yes, it's tender, you can squeeze it, but the texture is different. And I suppose, well, it's something that I've always been raised on, but that's what I would use to make my rice and peas. I would also use this, again, to make stew peas. You just cook it down, just longer, and you just mash it up. But anyway, so I wanted to share that with you. My favorite beans are the dark red kidney beans, and these which are lighter. They're not pink. They have some that are pink, but a lighter kidney bean. Camellia, best brand on the market here in the US. Camellia, hands down. Brilliant beans, love them, love them, love them. Okay, so that's the beans. You need to make sure that the beans are cooked, and they are cooked until they are soft. Now I just kind of squeezed that, and while it is it's soft, there's still a little bite to it. It's not al dente, but there's still some structure to it. So you need your beans, and you need them to be cooked. I'll give you all the actual measurements because I don't usually measure this stuff, but I'll leave all the measurements within the recipe. You'll be able to find it. So you need your beans, they need to be cooked. You need the water that they're cooked in. Here already, I was setting it all up. I have some fresh sprigs of thyme, and I also have a habanero pepper. If I had Scotch bonnet, I'd use Scotch bonnet, but I don't have that, so I have a habanero pepper. The other thing with rice and peas, you need coconut. Now, back in the day, you would grate coconut and make coconut milk. And I mean on a grater, you grating. And then you put it in water and you squeeze it out, And you make coconut milk. And that's what the rice, which is here, would be cooked in. Well, thank God for technology, because you can either use coconut milk, which I actually choose not to unless I have to. Sometimes, depending on what's in the milk, and this, for them, they say here, this is just coconut and water, but some of them have gum in it, and it can actually affect the way that your rice turns out. So I prefer to use pure creamed coconut. And pure creamed coconut, let's put this out the way, pure creamed coconut is hard. It comes in a block, just like this. Let me grab one of these. Okay. it comes in a block and it's hard. Okay, it really is hard. And literally I've taken a knife and I have shaved off what I want, and I got maybe about a tablespoon and a half, near on 2 tablespoons. When you're actually using this to make your rice and peas, you don't need the pieces too big, because what you need them to do is to dissolve. Otherwise you get chunks of coconut in your rice, which happens to me on a regular basis. But this happens to be small chunks. Usually I don't cut it this small, but I'm going to use this instead. So what I will do is, what you do, you put your beans, and I want all of them, all this stuff, because this helps to make the beans colorful. This is the liquid that the beans were boiled in. So I'm putting all of that in. I'm going to put my coconut in. See, and this is a really, oh, well, let me break it up. Some of these pieces are really big, you know, guys. Like this is a big piece, right? I'm going to give that just a little mix. As I said to you guys before, I actually don't salt. And I know people say, oh, but, oh God, man, the rice going fresh, it going fresh, it going fresh, it going fresh. But I don't salt my rice when I cook it. Whatever else we're having, there is enough salt in it. However, if you were to salt it, this would be the time to do it. And guys, all you need is a pinch of salt, because if you have salt in your main entree, you have salt in your salad, you have salt in the vegetables, you have salt in the peas and rice, you've got salt just everywhere, and you really don't need it. We'll put everything in the pot. We're gonna add the rice, and this is a cup and a half of basmati rice, my favorite. You can use any long-grained rice that you want, but this is my personal favorite. All right, guys, good to the last drop. Okay, gonna mix that up a little bit. And then we're going to add some water. We're going to add some water to it. Let me see. All right. Okay, I'm adding enough water that the beans are just about covered. So I just added a cup of water here. I just added a cup of water. And for me, that will be enough. So then what we're going to do is start cooking this. Okay, guys, here goes the peas and rice. I have the flame on high. I want to bring this to a rolling boil, a serious rolling boil, at least a boil enough where it will actually melt the coconut. Once that happens, I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to turn it down, and I'm going to allow it to simmer for 30 minutes. Okay, guys, so we're going to bring it up to a boil. Okay, guys, it's come to a rolling boil, and I did give it a quick little mix. Okay, I'm going to put the lid on, and I mixed it so that the coconut would help dissolve the coconut. I'm going to turn it onto a low flame, and I'm going to set my timer for 30 minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, we're going to turn the heat off of our rice, and peoples, that is our rice done. Look, that's the time, but our rice is done. Okay, if you want your rice to be spicy, I'm gonna take that out. If you want your rice to be spicy, before you start the actual steaming process of this, came out really good, guys. Before you start the steaming process of the rice, what you would do is you would pierce your pepper, but you really don't taste it. It just makes it flavorful. But that's the rice. As you can see, most of the thyme came off of the sprig, and that's what you're wanting. Yeah, guys, this is going to be yum, 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 and yum. But that's your peas and rice. Okay, guys, here we have the peas and rice. Oh, look at the time. I'll take the time out of that. All right, guys, peas and rice. Rice and peas. Where I come from is rice and peas. You can tell where people come from by the way they say this, but rice and peas, guys, it smells absolutely delicious. Let me just garnish it with a little bit of spring onion or scallion. Absolutely gorgeous, guys. Sunday dinner, always in a West Indian household. Sunday dinner, rice and peas. I hope you enjoy.